Sup, Nerdmigos? I'm the Jive talking nerd, John Norgrove, and this is Nerd Jive. So today's a little bit of tech news and a little bit of review news. So we had a shitload of trailers come out recently. First up is Saban's Power Rangers, which is awesome that it's not just Power Rangers, it's Saban's Power Rangers. But some websites are just saying Power Rangers. It's whatever. I enjoyed it. That's interesting. But we had 3 new TV spots for Saban's Power Rangers, and man, that movie just looks fantastic. If you haven't seen any of the TV spots, ignore the theatrical trailer garbage. Watch the TV spots on YouTube. I'll have them linked below. Check them out below. Absolutely amazing. Just fantastic, fantastic, fantastic. So check those out. Next up is we had a little clip released for Disney's live-action Beauty and the Beast. So it's like maybe the first half of the song Gaston, and it 100% gives you faith that this movie is going to be fantastic. I've probably listened to it 5-6 times, man. It's so good. Just absolutely fantastic. So check that out, linked below. All of these are going to be linked below. Next up, we had the second trailer for Guardians of the Galaxy 2, which it's got a lot more information. You get to, spoiler alert, see Ego the Living Planet in his human form. It looks so good, man. Like, I cannot wait for that to come out. Just, it looks so funny. So check that out. Guardian of the Galaxy Volume 2 trailer's out. And last up is Alien Covenant had a trailer come out yesterday. And it looks so good. We had that, like, 10-minute long, like, weird intro scene thing. It was the Last Supper, I think is what they called it. And this is, like, the proper trailer. You get to see a hint of the alien, like, kind of some of the shit that they're going through. But it looks really, really good. So check that out also. That just looks absolutely fantastic. So, news-wise, first up, so some Doctor Who news, shockingly. So Peter Capaldi, this is going to be his last year as the Doctor. And there's a lot of rumors going around because Capaldi's is the 12th Doctor, and historically we've been told that the Doctor gets like 12 reincarnations, whatever. But obviously they're going to keep doing this. It's making money and everybody loves it. So right now the big rumor is that Tilda Swinton is going to be the 13th Doctor, right? So there's a lot of stuff saying that the next Doctor is going to be a lady Doctor, which is going to be awesome. But the front runner right now is Tilda Swinton, which is amazing. Tilda Swinton is such a fantastic actress, and she does everything. I mean, every role she's in, she just kills. So I think Tilda Swinton as the 13th Doctor would be, part of me is like, she's so big, she's not going to take it. But that would be perfect, right? Could you imagine Tilda Swinton as the 13th Doctor? That would be amazing. So let's hope that we get Tilda Swinton for the 13th Doctor. I mean, all the odds calculation websites are really saying, like, she's in. I think she's at, like, 7-2 right now that she gets the job, which has nothing to do with what BBC's actually doing behind closed doors or whatever. But, yeah, like, let's hope for Tilda Swinton, you know? That would be awesome. Next up is Netflix news. So Netflix has been working on this how to get good quality streams to shitty connections. And they found a way of doing it, which is, so they're changing compression algorithms as well as codecs and streaming algorithms. So right now, they just did like this thing where they were showing people they could get reasonable. It was still grainy and blocky, but reasonable footage at 100 kilobytes a second connection. That's like a third of LTE. You know, that's tiny, tiny speeds. And it's still watchable on a cell phone, which is fantastic. So they're utilizing this new VP9 codec from Google, and then codec switching. and at a faster codec switching. I mean, it's already happening now and you're probably not noticing it, but they're going to do it again, or they're going to improve the technology so that way it can switch codecs much more readily without as much degradation of quality. So, I mean, you know, let's hope that it works out. I imagine you don't have an issue with it. I don't have an issue with, I mean, I rarely ever have to watch a Netflix episode and be like, it's super grainy or fucking whatever. But, drop my cell phone. Yeah, I think if anybody's going to bring that technology to us and help with streaming, it's going to be Netflix. So, you know, let's hope for that. So next up is iPhone 8 rumors. I'm just going to go through these real quick. I have a 7 Plus. I'm probably not going to buy an 8, but, you know, we'll see what happens. So the rumor right now is that there's going to be 3 devices launched, 2 standard LCD devices, and then 1 curved OLED device. And the OLED one is going to be the 10th anniversary edition, which is going to be like $1,000 starting for like the lowest model, which is crazy. There's going to be no more home buttons on any of the devices, so none of this stuff down here. And they're moving away from Lightning and moving to USB Type-C, which is awesome. And this is the way I look at this, right? So Apple's going to have their whatever the hell, WWDC or whatever it's called. And they're going to release an OLED screen, and they're going to remove the home button, and they're going to release USB Type-C, and they're going to be like, we're the best, we're revolutionizing the industry, even though USB Type-C and OLED displays are all years old. But Apple needs to do it. The Lightning, it's nice, it's Lightning, and everybody has the stuff for it because that's what you have to use one of these phones. But, I mean, just become part of the industry, Apple. You're clearly losing the fight. Join the ranks and just don't do Apple-y things. It's not, yeah, you're always going to have people, you know, everybody I know who has an Apple phone for personal use has an Android phone for their business. So get your shit together. That's all I'm saying. So let's hope that stuff comes true. Next up is, So, there were some pretty interesting discoveries when it comes to the age of life on this planet. It might be older than we think. So, these rocks were found in Quebec and let me read this word carefully here, Nouveau-Gatug Belt. I'm going to spell it for y'all because it's this fucking crazy word. Nuvuagittuq. Nouveau-Gatug Belt. Whatever the hell. This Nouveau Belt in Quebec, and they think it might be as much as 3.7 billion years old. So, traditionally, it's been accepted that life started somewhere on the order of about 3.5 billion years ago. This puts it 0.2 billion years further back in time. And what they found were iron oxide bacteria near thermal vents. These iron oxide bacteria form these like tubules made of iron oxide right next to a volcanic vent in the sea floor. And so they think the structures they found were created by bacteria. They're encased in like crystal because of their age. So that would be really awesome if we found life dating further back than we had, for the most part, thought was happening. There's a good Ars Technica article on this. I'll have it linked below. Check it out. I've read it twice. It's super fascinating. Absolutely fascinating information. The last thing I wanted to talk about was nondeterministic universal Turing machines, which is very future-y sounding without actually being future-y. So, NUTMs are devices that are machines that can evolve of their own volition. So University of Manchester has shown that it's possible, in laboratory conditions, of course, to build DNA-based computers. Now, traditionally, historically, all of that sounds far too old, but the tech that we currently have lets us use, theoretically, DNA as a storage medium. This is doing something different. This is using DNA as its processing medium, right? I mean, it has processors and DNA is storage and DNA is processors, but it's using the evolutionary tactics of DNA for solving problems. All right, so what they would do is these computers would learn and grow in an evolutionary fashion. The example that they use, all right, is if you were in a maze, right? So you design this maze for the computer to solve. All right, traditionally, what a computer has to do is take a course to the end, and then backtrack and take the next course, and take the next course, and take the next course, and has to do it in this very linear fashion. All right, so these non-deterministic devices have the ability to, when it reaches we can go right or we can go left. All right, what it does is DNA duplicates itself, and then one DNA machine goes one direction and one DNA machine goes the other direction. And this is different than the way, let's say, quantum computer would work. So quantum computers have the ability to solve problems from two sides at the same time, but there needs to be a supersymmetry. There needs to be a symmetry involved in it at the quantum level to solve for two sides of an equation, whereas like a traditional maze wouldn't be able to do this. So, but these computers would, because when you reach that junction, when it doesn't know what to do based on the knowledge and logic that it currently has, it needs to solve for X, and there's two potential courses. All right, this machine just duplicates itself and then solves in both directions. And if it were to find one side didn't produce a solution and one side did, then it would either destroy the DNA on the false answer side, or repurpose that DNA because it came up with other solutions that could relate to other problems. What Manchester was saying was that because of the size and power that DNA holds, a standard sized PC would, if it were running on these DNA type processors, would be equivalent to a modern supercomputer. The supercomputers that currently exist today could sit in your house and solve problems. Like, this is how absurd this technology is. It's that big, if you will, which is absolutely fascinating. And this comes from, and this is the easiest way to think about this, right? So computers think in ones and zeros, yeses and nos. All right, quantum computers work in qubits, where yes and no can exist at the same time, but it's still binary, right? So a quantum computer, we can get yes, we can get no, but it's either or both, which gives you a third state, which is huge, but it's not significantly different in like a systemic way. These DNA processors would have 4 states, essentially one state for each portion of your DNA, right? So A, C, G, and T. And this would open up the floodgates when it comes to, this is a totally, programming would be different, circuitry would be, everything would be different. This is a whole new world, but it would drastically increase processing power and efficiency and what you could do in a home computer. It would change everything. And we're kind of at this point right now, technologically, where silicone is kind of reaching its end. Intel, I was talking about this earlier with some coworkers, Intel used to tick-tock, right? We're going to reduce structure size, we're going to improve efficiency. We're going to reduce structure size, we're going to improve efficiency, back and forth like that. And now we're at this place where if silicone gets much smaller than it currently is, like it still has room, but if it gets much smaller than it currently is, we have to worry about like quantum tunneling, electrons jumping through solid objects. So we've been, processor companies have been looking at, well, what if we use carbon nanotubes, or we used three-dimensional capacitor circuitry, so that way you don't have linear jumping as much of an effect, because the structure of the capacitor results in multiple dimensions, which reduces the frequency with which something can jump through it. But this would solve a lot of problems, because then, as opposed to reducing the size of the architecture, you're increasing the number of units that architecture is processing at a single moment from 2 to 4, which doesn't sound like a lot, but I mean, that's the square cubed law. It's that you double the size, you quadruple the amount of need, kind of a thing, and vice versa. So this has so much potential, and who knows? Maybe quantum nanotube computers are going to be the answer. Maybe quantum computers are going to be the answer. Maybe DNA computers are going to be the answer. Hell, I mean, you know what? Maybe some sort of weird extra-dimensional vacuum machines, which, if you get that reference, you're welcome, will be the answer. But we need a solution. We're not at the end, but we're approaching it, and it's visible on the horizon when it comes to increasing efficiency and size and computing power and those things, and we need a solution. And following traditional lines will take us in traditional places, but doing this is the kind of logic that lets SpaceX say, like, well, what if we didn't use aluminum lithium for a tank? What if you use plasticized carbon fiber reinforced fuel tanks? What if we brought the first stage back to Earth and reused it? That's the kind of stuff that changes everything. So that's awesome. I'll have a link to the article below. It's a very cursory article. Like, I would love a lot more information about this. I mean, it's way, above my head, but I would love to have more information about this. And I kind of hope University of Manchester, really pushes this to the next level, because maybe it is the answer. I mean, hell, could you imagine having a supercomputer in your house? I don't really have a need for it, but shit, we could game in like a bajillion K, so I'd be okay with that, But so, yeah, I would like to say that this was a quick one, but I've obviously been talking for like 17 minutes, so it's not fucking whatever. But, yeah, we'll have links below. If you find any articles that are interesting, let me know what you think, either on the stuff that I've talked about, or if you find some news, some techie news articles, comment them below. Follow me on Facebook and Twitter, and shoot me links there. Watch those trailers that I have linked below, and let me know what you think about them. I'm super excited about all of these movies. I was always on board with Power Rangers because I'm a huge Power Rangers fan. And it's every time I watch a new thing, it's making me look better. And I was a little trepidatious with Beauty and the Beast, and that's looking, just every time they release something, it looks better and better and better, and I have so much hope in that. Guardians of the Galaxy 2, of course it's going to be fucking great. It's Guardians of the Galaxy. But it looks so, like, I watch the trailer and I laugh, and I'm just like, I can't wait. Shit, let this happen, So, and the Alien movie, again, that's one of those that I was kind of like, whatever. The last Alien movie was okay, and Covenant sounds okay, and then I watched the Last Supper clip, and I was like, this looks pretty good, like, maybe they're gonna do a good job. And then I watched this trailer, and I was like, Jesus shit, this looks like legit good. So, like, I have hope there. I'm real excited about that. But, yeah, let me know what you guys think. Like, comment, subscribe, do all the stupid YouTube-y shit that we're supposed to ask for that I don't 100% get. But either way, I've been John Norgrove. This has been Nerd Jive. Stay nerdy, and I'll see y'all on Friday. I've got another Lego build, so stay tuned.